Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to One Punch Man 90 because I'm a monster. Now, once again, it's a good chapter. I refuse to believe now. I think it's pretty much written in stone that Murata and One, when they're working together, they can't release a bad chapter. These guys are just too good. And I've really split this chapter down into three really scenarios. I'll talk about, I think, the Garou one last, and I'll talk about King and the Hero Association first. But it was a good chapter, and I really enjoyed it. And these guys really just pumping out some work. I didn't expect a chapter so early after the last 100-page chapter we had, and this one was 47 pages in length, which is pretty damn good anyway. So I was like, damn, okay, these guys are pumping it out. So let's start with King first. Now, this one is not really much to talk about. King wakes up from the hot pot battle, having been unconscious all night long. He's the only one that's remaining in Saitama's house after he's really kicked out everyone else. Saitama tells him to get out. He's like, bro, you've been here long enough. Get your ass out of here. But whilst you're going, take out the trash with you, because the recycling area of Z City is quite far from Saitama's house, so maybe it's on the way for King as he exits Z City. So that's why he's like, yeah, go take the trash as well. So as King journeys back to his house, he notices how quiet Z City is due to Saitama's presence. But he also makes a very poignant quip about how bringing a cat into the house may solve an issue with mice, but the mice could just as well be hiding out in the attic. Now, what he's saying here is that Saitama has he's become that figure that's really demonized all the monsters in Z City. They've all run away and they've vanished because of Saitama, but they could all be hiding underground, which is actually the truth of the matter. They're hiding underground. And I think as he's saying this, King actually walks past the entrance that Garou took into the Monster Association this chapter. And I was like, but I can't be certain about that, but I thought it looked very similar to the one we saw Garou walk into this chapter. But it also draws, I think it's foreshadowing what's going to happen later, which is monsters are just going to be popping out the ground, and King's going to be sick to his stomach anyway, but monsters are going to be flying out the ground, and any of the heroes that are going to be at each of the entrances / exits, because their pathways, they serve as both entrances and exits, they're going to have a really hard time trying to stuff all these monsters and really trying to kill all these monsters, because there's going to be millions of them. Carrying on, King, he gets home only to encounter some Hero Association employees waiting outside his house who have come to take King to this S-Class meeting and really to take King to his team, which are the S-Class heroes who are going to go and rescue this kid, Waganma. Now, as usual, they mistake King for having done something amazing and he hasn't done anything, thinking the hot pot stains on his shirt are the bodily fluids of monsters that he's taken out, whether he's been battling day and night in Z City, because they realize he was in Z City, and they're just like, oh my god, you're so great, I'm so sorry to ask you, but can you come with us to the Hero Association? And he's just there like, bro, it's just hot pot. So I was like, King's as straight as he usually is, but I just think his purpose in this chapter was really to make that poignant quip about the mice and how they might be hiding in the attic, and how that kind of ties in with the monsters and how they're hiding underground and how they're going to pop out of that attic once the attack begins. So we then go to Nerinki, Mr. Nerinki and the Hero Association, and he's there in the Hero Association like headquarters in the lounge or something, and he's come to the realization that his elite squad may be very, very dead. Now, we know they're not dead. They've just been taken over really by Super Sadistic. Is it Super S? I forgot what her name is. Super S, I think it was. And her ability to kind of take over people's minds with her boobs. Now, seeing how elite he thought his squad were, obviously he's come to the conclusion that heroes are also doomed to the same fate as his squadron, and he tries to kind of ensure productivity via Sekingal by way of payment. He's like, I'll pay y'all anything you want, just make sure that you save my child and shit like that. And really, it doesn't even seem like Waganma is his top priority here. He seems to just be shit scared of for himself, but he does mention his child, so kind of props there, but I'm not too sure if he actually gives too much of a shit about Waganma at this point in time. Now, obviously, when he's making all these motions of payment and things like that, you gotta cue the S-Class heroes, and they all walk in like the badasses they are. They just stroll in, with all of them pretty much weighing in and saying that anyone who can be swayed by money is too weak to be a hero of their caliber. That's kind of what Flashy Flash was saying, and what's his name, Superhero Doc is it Super Alloy Darkshine, basically reiterates what Flashy Flash is saying. Obviously Tatsumaki has to weigh in, and she says she kind of mentions her own beliefs. If you're strong, nothing else matters, you don't need money. And Flashy Flash is more along the lines of, if you can be swayed by money, what type of character are you? What type of hero are you? Now, during all of their little entrance speeches, Puri Prisoner makes mention of how he'll save all of his prison pals, and he swears it upon his hand-knitted shirt, his hand-knitted jersey even. And this is pretty awkward because he's swearing to save all of his prison pals, and they've pretty much sworn to kill him, and they're all hell-bent on killing him, and I'm just like, well, this is awkward. You're gonna meet each other, they're gonna try and kill you, you're gonna hug them. It's gonna be a weird scene, but it's gonna happen, and I can't wait for that scene in general. But in terms of who we actually see, let me see if I can find the page. In terms of who we see during that meeting with the S-Class Heroes Awards chilling, let's see if I can find the page. Who do we see? I think we see Pig God, we see Super Alloy Darkshine, we see, actually I'm just coming up to, yeah. Okay, so the S-Class heroes we have are I'm not sure if Puri Prisoner is S-Class, I think he might be, but Zombie Man, Puri Prisoner, Flashy Flash, Pig God, we see Atomic Samurai, Tatsumaki, Child Emperor, and Super Alloy Darkshine. So they're the squadron at the moment, and we've got King yet to add to that, but they're the S-Class heroes who are going to go and attack this base, this monster association. So, according to Child Emperor, the plan is as follows. At noon, S-Class heroes will split and enter the Monster Association via these different pathways and entrances that he has found, so they don't get ambushed together. Now, their mission is simple. Find the kid and get out. It doesn't matter who does it, only that it's done. They don't really care about, who gets the credit. They just want to rescue this kid and get the hell out. I'm not too sure if it's going to be easy for them to get out. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be easy for them to get out, because once they get the kid, shit's going to go down. But while this happens, any monsters who escape will be culled by heroes waiting outside the exits. All these heroes who are prepared to fight any monsters up to the level of Tiger. So now the issue here is, any monster up to the level of Tiger, you got some weak ass heroes outside these exits. I mean, like, we've got Wolf, Tiger, Demon. So they should be at least demon. They should be up to demon level. But supposedly Fubuki, she's going to be there supposedly, and she can fight monsters up to demon level, but up to Tiger, and then it's not really much of an issue for any of these monsters escaping. One demon class and they're all screwed. So, and it's here actually that Tatsumaki asks if Fubuki is going to be one of the heroes waiting outside of these exits, culling all these monsters, and she forces Second Gal to remove Fubuki from the mission, saying that she doesn't want her younger sister on the mission. Now, as cool as that is, seeing that sister relationship and that familial relationship, really, Fubuki will obviously not take too kindly to this, and she'll continue to do whatever she wants to do anyway. But the main point here is the Hero Association will definitely fail this amazing plan they've got. Their S-Class heroes will shine as they usually do, but it's not the S-Class which have been their weakness in the past. It's the other classes which are the chink in their armor right now, the A, B, Cs. Now, the only upside to this is once Saitama hears all the hustle and bustle outside, he's going to come and end the war in like a single punch, like he always does. So once Saitama really realizes what the situation is, the war's over anyway, and then we can get Saitama versus Garou or Saitama versus Orochi or something like that. So I can't wait for that either. But essentially, the Hero Association's plan and the S-Class plan is designed for failure. There's going to be too many monsters for any of the heroes standing outside the entrances to deal with, especially if they can only deal with monsters up to Tiger in class. And the S-Class heroes are going to be found out because of the super sensory ability of Giorgiro, so he's going to be prepared. And his executives are meant to be pretty damn strong, so maybe people like Super Alloy Darkshine, I'm not too sure how strong he is. Maybe Flashy Flash is going to have his hands full with Hellfire Wind? Is it Hellfire? Yeah, with Hellfire and Gale Wind. So that's going to be awesome to see as well. I can't wait for that fight, and I do actually hope that fight takes place. But we also have Puri Prisoner against his boys, so that's going to be awesome to see. So I can't wait. I can't wait for any of these things. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. You can hear my stomach going all the way through this. But then we have the main part of the chapter for me, which was Garou. Now, the chapter actually starts with Garou, and we're accompanying Garou, who has found an entrance to the Monster Association hideout, and he looks ready to take some names, and he does. Garou notices Garou entering one of these pathways into the Monster Association due to his supersensory ability, but he can't determine whether it's monster or human, so he sends some scouts to either greet or eat this intruder. Now we see Tario and Waganma, with Royal Ripper coming to spend some quality time with his new toy, and after Waganma kind of realizes what Royal Ripper's there for, and he's going to take Tario out not for dinner but more for his own pleasure, he quickly shuts up and he's like, no, I don't want to be part of this, you can take him. And I was like, you're a little dickhead, So Tario is told no heroes will come for him because no one even knows he's there, and I was like, oh, this is some psychological damage right now. And I suppose this comes back to that age-old dilemma of Garou and how he views himself. He's trying so hard not to be a hero, but at the end of this chapter, he is Tario's hero. He is the one who saved Tario, and Tario views him as a hero. Even though he does say, I'm a monster this chapter, Tario sees him as a hero. And the fact that Royal Ripper says, no heroes know you're here, and then Garou pops up, one heroic type figure, and knows Tario's there. It just kind of really summates what type of character Garou is. He's so confused and he doesn't know what's going on with his life or himself inside. He has this kind of internal warfare of whether he's actually a hero or a monster, and that's what I find so interesting about Garou. As Tario's dragged off into Royal Ripper's little torture chamber type thing, we see some monsters walk into the remnants of other monsters in that little alleyway, in that little pathway actually that Garou took to get into the Monster Association. Now, it's safe to say that they were completely and utterly destroyed, and it was quite a bloody mess. And we then get Royal Ripper playing with Tario, cutting him slightly down the face and saying he needs no other reason to do this other than that he is a monster. He's like, why? Tario asks him, why are you doing this? And he's like, because I'm a monster. And I'm just like, okay, that's a decent reason. You can keep that reason, whatever. But then this was the cool part for me, because we later see Garou echo the same words, but after having saved Tario. So it comes back to the idea once again of Garou's twisted sense of justice and kind of angsty hatred for the rest of the world and everything it's done to him. And it was just cool to see an actual monster blame his monster heritage for his evil actions, and we have a human going on monster blame his heroics on his monster side. And I think this also comes back to that fact that Garou kind of views humanity in this, he's in this disaster situation. He believes that humanity is worthless. He's like, nah, humans are done for. We're a worthless race. So does this kind of also show how Garou basically has no faith in humanity, blaming his monster side or his monsterification at this moment in time for his heroic antics? But yes, I just thought that part was pretty cool. Now, as Tario effectively poops his pants, Garou busts in through a wall, catches Royal Ripper's blade in his bare hand. He does actually bleed a bit, and while he also takes a slash to his side, but he takes all of that and he totally decapitates Royal Ripper with a punch to the face. He just totally ends his career, pops his face off. Awesome artwork here, and I was so hyped to see Garou exact his revenge in such an awesome manner. Now, what's more terrifying here is that he slices Royal Ripper apart too, using a style very, very reminiscent of his master's brother, Bomb, user of the whirlwind iron cutting fist technique or style. Now, this is another key kind of feature Garou has. He can mimic fighting styles after having only seen them once, and he can do it very quickly and very effectively. And especially if he's able to now use the whirlwind iron cutting fist, that's a very, very devastating type of martial art. We've seen how Bomb has utilized it on monsters before in the chapter where they were fighting Garou, and he totally decimated some monsters using that. So it's cool to see how Garou can grow so quickly. I loved how Garou was in this scene as well, almost like the anti-hero to this story. When reading it through the first time, Garou saw what Royal Ripper had beneath his bandages, and he said it was disgusting, and I was like, okay, that was weird. But upon second reading, I realized he said this because he was looking for something to eat, and he didn't want to eat what was beneath Royal Ripper's bandages. With this, Tario and Garou begin their escape, killing a couple more monsters on the way, and it's here that we see Garou eat some of his victims, needing some nourishment to keep him going, and this kind of sickens Tario, but not enough to keep him away from Garou. Having done that once, he's not going to do it again. And we also see Garou's darker side here. He doesn't want to rescue Waganma, he's just here for Tario, and this is what makes him more of a villain than anything. and less of a hero. His sense of justice is just so twisted and very selfish, so for himself and for this kid who he feels like he owes something to almost. But he's just a very selfish individual, which is why he could never really be a hero. However, when Garou looks back to talk to Tadeo, he sees the hound-looking executive, the one with a huge-ass muzzle, eyes running all the way up, towering behind Tadeo. And I was like, oh my god. And he tells Tadeo to slowly make his way towards himself. But I seriously don't see Garou get out of this alive, unless the executive is under orders or maybe thinks to take Garou to Gyoro, where his monsterification will continue, and we get to see Garou become more and more dark and horrific and monster-like. But yeah, that's where the chapter ends. I really enjoyed the chapter. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if I missed anything out, or whether you feel any theories out there are circulating that I should know about. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My next chapter review will be One Piece sometime on Friday, I think. So let me know what you guys think, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.